everyone, it's Jay. I'm trying to film from a little bit higher up today, so I've had to mark out on my desk what's showing in the camera. Yeah, so I can't actually see my camera, so I hope this is going to go okay. And what I'm going to do today is show you how to make signatures. Signatures are the groups of pages that you put inside your journal. So I've got all my papers and pages that I want to put in there in this box. I've got all of my mushroom journal bits and pieces in this box. I just cut down a box and I'm going to use that. So the papers I'm going to use, I'm going to take out. Some of these pieces in here I'm not going to use to make pages with. I'm just going to like stick them in, put them in afterwards. But a lot of them are going to be used to make my signature. So I'll take those out. For example, I can use that page because I'll have a map on each side in one of my signatures. I really like that. I love it. It's Wiltshire and Sussex. These ones I'm not going to put in as, I'm going to use these as ephemera. So I might make a pocket out of this one. And then on the other side, and the other one I've got is that one. I just think they're too nice not to use to make something with. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with those. Rather than make them into pages and like cut them in half or something, I'm going to use them to make like a fold out piece. So I'm not going to use those in my pages. This here is, oh, I've got some, they're little bits I'm going to use to pop in afterwards. This is Amazon packing paper. And it came screwed up like this, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to decorate it and use it. But I'll pop it in after I've got my signatures done and sewn in. Also, I downloaded and printed off this from Etsy. I'll pop the shop name in my comments. I can't add links yet because I haven't had enough views, but yeah, it's obviously for my mushroom. I'm obsessed with this mushroom journal. This I am going to pop in as a page, and you know, I'll tidy it up a bit after I've done it. I do want some envelopes and things in there. I'm going to use this. It's a prescription bag. Why not? Waste not, want not. This I shall pop that in afterwards, I think. I won't make it a page, but I'll decorate it. There's my cover. Here's the pack that I downloaded and printed off, the mushroom journal pack. So I'll add the shop that I got that from in the description as well. Here I've got more creased up paper. But I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. You'll see, and I think you'll quite like it. I may use it as pages, but I want to decorate it and do a bit with it first. I've got some tissue paper that came in something I bought from Vinted. It came with this tissue paper, and I thought, well, I can use that for something, can't I? Maybe not for a page, but I can use it to decorate something with, I think. I've got the cut off bits from my cover, and I'll use these to make ephemera to go inside my journal. So ephemera are pieces of, they are things that you put in your journal that are personal to you, things that you would normally throw away. So instead of throwing these away, I'm going to cut them up. I can make journal cards with them. I can make some envelopes. I can make some belly bands. I can make some little tabs to go on the edge of the pages. I don't throw anything away anyway. So again, that's the fabric in case I want to use a little piece of that. This is some card that I've got out that I am going to use that actually in my signatures, because I like each signature to have a card cover. So I will use that in there. I'm going to do 4 signatures, so I need 4 pieces. Oh, that is card, but it's not that isn't big enough, I can cut little bits out of that, or cut that up to make ephemera with, like pockets and tuck spots, things like that. So 1, 2, 3, I do have four pieces of card here that I'm going to use, and I've chosen them for the colours and the patterns on them because I think they'll match well with my colours I've got in my mushroom journal. More of this paper. I mean, I can't see me using all of this paper, but I will use some of it, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that in another video. I've got another envelope here which I do want to put in. I want to, at least, you know, one envelope in each signature. I've got this, which was some paper from a parcel that I got on Vinted. I'm going to use that because I just like the colours of it and thought that it would go really well. More of that paper. These are pieces of card that I've saved. I've got some doilies that I'm going to use as pages. I've got more envelopes here to use. The fabric I'm going to use for decoration. The music paper I'm going to use for pages. Another doily. A flower, a picture from a cookery book. I've got some cards here. I'm going to use the envelopes for sure, and I'm going to use these pieces of paper, but I think I might use these paper rather than make them into pages. If I do decide I'm going to make them into pages, I can pop them in afterwards using washi tape to hold them in, or I can staple them in. These I need to distress a bit, and you know, and then I can use those. The same with these cloakroom tickets. I need to distress them a bit and then I can use them. This is really lovely paper, and I want to put some of that in there, so I will pop that on my pile of things to make pages with. Yeah, I'm going to add those in afterwards, I think. These I think I'm going to add in afterwards. The cards I'm going to... Yeah, and again the fabric. This is actually I got this for my doll hobby. I ordered some reusable nappies for my dolls, and they sent me these nappy liners. Now, what these will be good for is using to wipe glue from round the edges of things when you're gluing things. I know that Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah uses dry wipes, and I thought, well, they're already dry, aren't they? She lets the wet wipe go dry and then uses it. I thought, well, they're already dry, I can use those. I'll save them and use them for that. So let's get this out of the way. We're done with that for the moment. And then it's just a case of making the 4 piles. Now, this needs cutting, obviously. So I'm going to use... Each signature will be the same. So I'm going to need a cover for it. This is going to be the cover for one signature. I'll do the others off camera, but I'll just show you. Then I'm going to want some music paper on each. Some of these I will need to cut down. So that'll be the cover, and then 1 page of my signature. I'll put a card in there like that. Then we'll have some of the really nice handmade paper. I'll do that like that, and then it'll be folded in half, and we'll have... I don't mind that the pages are not all the same size, that's fine. And then I want an envelope. For the envelope, I could either put it like this, so that you've got half of it one side and half the other, or I could do it like this and just sew down the... If I attach it like this, I can then close that up and then cut it to pop things inside. Or I could cut it across here, or I could cut it at a diagonal. Envelopes are so useful, there's so many things you can do with it. Or I could do it like this, so that I've got half of the envelope showing each side. Seal it up, fold it in half, and then you can cut the edge off each side and you've got a pocket each side. I think I'm going to do that with it. I've got this, which I'll probably use that way on. I've got a doily. I am going to alter the sequence of them, the way they're put in. Right, so I'm going to have that. Oh, actually, I've already got an envelope in there, so I'll save that. Actually, no, I'm going to use that one. I'll save that one for a different signature. Another doily, because I've got one of each shape. And then I have a bag there. I'm going to use the bag. And what I think I'm going to do is put it in half like this. Then the signature will fold like this. We'll fold in half like this. I've probably cut the end off there. And then you can put quite a bit inside that bag because it's folded up, look. Another envelope, which I'll pop over there. This is that I'm going to put in. I love that. And I'll have a map on each side. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? That makes me feel hungry. But I'll pop that aside for another one of my pages. Then I've got the fishy ones. I'll pop those in like that as well. They're just something interesting to look at. And then on the other side of it, I could put something plain or I could decorate it. And if I did it plain or I put an envelope on there, you could use it then for journaling. So I think I've probably got enough pages here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and the cover. So I think that's enough of those. And then I've got the actual pages that came with the kit. I'm going to count how many I've got of these and divide them by 4. So not to worry. So I think, oh no, I haven't got one of these pretty ones in. Now these, I'm not going to put these in the book as they are. I'm going to cut the birds out and give them those fancy tails because I love those fancy tails. I'll show you how I do that when we come to it. I've got the flowers there. I do want to put those in. Hold on, I can't open it. So one of those and then the other 3 on the other pile, and then I've got 4 of these, I think. So 1, yeah, 2, 3, 4, and then this gorgeous, gorgeous pictures from this picture book. So 1, and then I've got 3 more for the other. Right, so I've got all of my pages here. I need to cut them down to size. So I'll get my cover. You can see that my cover is, here's my, let's just fold it so that you can see. I'll be adding my signatures into the spine, which is there, which I've doubled up with card. So my pages need to be this size, so the crease has to be there. And then I need to make them the size of that cover. So if I get the pages that I've got printed out already, these ones, that one's too small, I'm sure. If I fold that one in half, we can see that that's too small. It'll be fine. I don't mind that they're staggered sizes, and I will still use it, but I need it to be bigger than that. I need them to be on average bigger than that. So how about this one? This one hasn't been trimmed at all, so it might be okay. Yeah, that's more like it, I think. That's more the size that I want. So I'm going to cut all of my pages to the same size as that piece of paper, which is a little bit smaller than A4. So I really wanted more of Old King Cole on there. I don't know whether, I think what I'm going to do is cut this in half. I'm not going to tear it because if I tear it, I'm going to spoil the picture. Look at Daffy Dandilly. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is cut it down the middle like this. And then I can use this as the middle of my signature. You can see it's a little bit big, but I can trim it down and still not lose any of the picture. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go and cut all of my pages down to the right size, and then I'll come back and show you how I compile the signature. Okay, so I've had a bit of a... I've cut my pages down. I've taken out a few of the pages because I've got far too many. But I thought, right, I'll see. I definitely wanted this Daffy Dandilly, and I wanted that in the middle, so I've got that in. I've got the prescription paper in. I wanted to recycle this bag. And actually, I can open it out, and it's about the same size as my page look. So it's not as wide, but that doesn't matter. I'm not worried that, you know, that things aren't all precise. It's a junk journal. So then I've got a piece of paper from the pack. I kept the graph paper in. I think that's just something a little bit different to write on and adds a bit of interest. I wanted the maps in, so I've got those in. Another piece of the paper from the pack. The flower page, I ended up just using one side rather than turning it that way. I turned it the other way. It still looks just as pretty on each side, so that's what I did with that. I wanted some of this pretty paper in, so I actually took out the fish page. You know, maybe the fish don't go so well in a mushroom journal, so I've taken that out. Definitely wanted the lovely music page in. And again, I turned it sideways so that it's this way on instead of the other way. Actually, probably turn it that way. Then another page from the pack, then an envelope there. And with this envelope, I didn't fold it exactly in half because I wanted the whole of this window on one side. So I folded it just enough so that I've got the whole of the window on one side. And then on the other side, I've still got a pocket. It's just not as big, but it'll add interest, won't it, that window? Then I've got the doily, which is really pretty. I just think it looks really pretty. You can do some journaling on there. You could put a little picture on there. Then I've got another page from the pack, and then I've got my cover. You can see that some of those pages are bigger than my cover, so but that's fine. Make sure that all of your pages are the right way up. Make sure you know which is the top and which is the bottom. Make sure you've got, if you go like this with your pages, you'll make sure that they're all in the middle. Now with my cover, instead of cutting off the bottom, I didn't cut it off, I left it as a pocket. And I think what I'm going to do is cut it across there so that it's a tuck spot. I could do that, or I could fold it over a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do with that. We can play with that afterwards, but I thought rather than cut it off, I'll keep it on for now. So that is my signature made and ready, and I cannot tell you, I cannot emphasize how important it is to make sure you know which is the top and which is the bottom. I'm going to just hold these in place with my massive paper clips that I bought. So one there and one here. So that will hold that signature in place. I know which is the top and which is the bottom. You must make sure, because I'm only saying this because I've done it myself. I put one of my, when I made my daughter her journal, I put one of her signatures in upside down, yeah, and I said, oh, I'll take that out. She says, no, leave it, it'll add interest. So I left it. Yeah, so that is one signature done. I'll go away and make the other 4, and then when I've got all 4 made, I'll come back and I'll show you how I fit them into my cover. So I hope that was useful to someone. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.